Hello everyone, welcome to a Chasing the Cup Extra, and today I'm going to do my local guide of Bristol Motor Speedway because next week is the Bristol Night Race, and I want to give my local guide to Bristol Motor Speedway. Now, I was inspired by Danny B. Talks, who gave his guide when he traveled from his town of Hendersonville, Tennessee to Bristol, and he talked about the things that he did on the way. But he's not really a local guide because he comes from out of town. However, I've been a local here all my life here in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee, and I want to give my local guide to the area. So first, I want to talk about how you get to the track. If you're coming from the north or northwest, then you're probably coming down via I-77. And there's a couple of options that you can take to get to Bristol. First off, you can take I-77 all the way to Wytheville, Virginia. Then you can get onto I-81 south at Wytheville, which will take you down to Bristol via Rural Retreat, Marion, Chilhowie, Abingdon, and then to Bristol. The other option, if you're coming from the north or northwest, is that you can take Route 19 and 460 to Abingdon, then get back onto I-81 and head to Bristol. If you're coming from the northeast, then you're probably coming from I-81. And so basically what you want to do is basically stick on I-81 down to Bristol. If you're coming from the southeast, you're probably coming up on I-77. There are a couple of options. You can either stay on 77 until Wytheville and take I-81 south to Bristol, or you can go to Hillsville and take US 58 all the way back to Abingdon and then take I-81 to Bristol. It's basically the same thing for people coming from the south as well, but if you're coming from the southwest, then you're probably going to be on I-81. So you can pretty much stay on I-81 all the way. There are also those that may come from the west on US 23 and I-26. You basically want to stay on this main route into Kingsport before heading to the Tri-Cities crossing. Then you can get on I-81 north and head toward the track. Or at Kingsport, you can make a left-hand turn onto US 11. That'll pretty much take you right to Bristol. And now let's take a look at some of the things that you can do. First off, with some local activities besides the Bristol Motor Speedway. If you're a fisherman, there are plenty of lakes around. You got South Holston Lake, and just south of the track is the South Holston River, and on the other side is Bluff City, Tennessee. And that river flows into Boone Lake and Fort Henry Lake before heading toward Kingsport. And there's also other lakes and rivers around, such as Laurel Bed Lake, which is a lake on top of a mountain in Russell County, Virginia. There's also the Clinch River, which flows through my hometown. If you're going to South Holston Lake, you probably want to check out the South Holston Dam, where you can go and walk around on the local trails, or you can go fishing. And there's also plenty of other trails that you can walk or run on, including the infamous Virginia Creeper Trail, which is a former Norfolk and Western rail line that went from Abingdon, Virginia to West Jefferson, North Carolina, but the trail only goes from Abingdon to White Top. And it's pretty fun to do. You can take your bike, or you can just walk on particular sections, whether if you're walking from Abingdon or other locations. It's pretty fun to do. You can also walk down State Street and downtown Bristol and take a look at the shops there. You also got the Pinnacle with all their shops. And you got Claudio Heights, or as us locals call it, Exit 7, where you got a bunch of stuff there as well. There's also downtown Abingdon with all their restaurants and businesses, including the infamous Barter Theater, if you're into plays and all that. And if you like historic downtowns, you can check out Jonesboro, Tennessee, which is a very historic town, and there's plenty of fun things to do down there. There's also some museums around, including the birthplace of country music museum, located in Bristol, Virginia. There's the William King Museum of Art in Abingdon. There's the Gray Fossil Site. There's also the historic Crab Orchard Museum, and so many more historical places. If you're flying into Bristol, then there are a few options for airports. The most known is Tri-Cities Airport, which is only located a few miles from the racetrack. There is also the airports in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Roanoke, Virginia, as well as other local airports that do not offer any commercial flights, such as Virginia Highlands Airport in Abingdon, as well as many others. And if you want to relive the origins of the sport and drive on some really curvy roads, then I would recommend taking the Back of the Dragon, which runs from Marion and Tazewell, Virginia. And it's a very popular little road for motorcyclists as well as sports car owners. As well as just off of the Back of the Dragon is Hungry Mother State Park, where there's a lake that you can go fishing or swimming in. And finally, I'm going to talk about some of the best restaurants in the area. If you're familiar with the Buffet Benny segments from the early 90s on ESPN, then you may remember a restaurant called Richwood Barbecue, and that restaurant is actually still open, and it's a very good restaurant to eat at. At the Pinnacle, you have plenty of options, such as Johnny Briscoe's New York Pizza, Aubrey's, Drake's, as well as Outback Steakhouse, and many more chain restaurants, including fast food ones like McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, and Chipotle. And also, just outside of the Pinnacle, you have a couple of other fast food restaurants that are staples of the South, including Bojangles and the infamous Pals. You also got the recently opened Bristol Casino, which will be the future location of Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Bristol. And along with the gambling, there are also a few restaurant options as well, including the Bristol Bar, Brick Pizza, and Mr. Lucky's, which are all restaurants that you usually see at the Hard Rock locations. There's no Hard Rock Cafe yet at the casino, but will open when the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino is officially finished, but it's still under construction. At Colonial Heights, also known as Exit 7, you got Cracker Barrel, Logan's Cookout, which is the official sponsor of the Southern 500. You got a Golden Corral. There's Cheddar's, which is the official sponsor of Tyler Reddick. There's a Sonic. There's another Chick-fil-A. There's Mellow Mushroom, which is a pizza chain. There's another Pals. And there's also another Bojangles. And there's Red Lobster. And if you want to go watch a movie, there's Legacy there at the exit as well. If you're at the Pinnacle and you want to watch a movie, there's Marquee Cinemas. If you want to go to downtown Bristol on State Street, there are plenty of great options to choose from. There's Southern Craft Barbecue. There's Delta Blues Barbecue, Burger Bar, State Line Bar and Grill, 620 State Street, the Southern Churn, if you want ice cream, the Corner, Bistro on 6th, the Angry Italian, Quaker Steak and Lube, and so many more. There are also other options in Abingdon as well. There's also good options in Kingsport and Johnson City, as well as Marion, Lebanon, Tazewell, and Richlands, Virginia. And finally, I'm going to give the directions to the track from I-81. The first option is to take the exit of the Pinnacle, and there are a couple of ways from the Pinnacle that you can get to the track. The first is to go on West State Street until you get onto Blountville Highway, and you take Blountville Highway till you get to Bethel Drive, and then Bethel Drive will take you to Exit Drive, then you can turn right on Exide Drive, and it'll take you right to the racetrack. The other option from the Pinnacle exit is to take Island Drive and then Walnut Hill Road down back to Blountville Highway and take that route to Bristol. The other option is to get off at the Blountville exit and take Tennessee Route 394 to Bluff City, Tennessee, then take a left, and then it'll be only a mile to the track. But that's where most of the traffic will be. So you can either use my other two options at the Pinnacle, or you can go to the Tri-Cities Crossing and take I-26 to Johnson City, get on Route 19, and take it all the way to the track. There are also other ways from the north as well. You can take Exit 5 or Exit 3, which will take you through downtown before getting on Route 19 and taking you to the track. Or you can get off in Abingdon and take Route 75 along South Holston, then take Route 421, then make a left onto 394, and then turn right onto I-19 North, and then you get to the track. And so that's it for the local guide to Bristol Motor Speedway, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're going to Bristol this year for the night race or future races, I hope you have a good time, and I'll see you next time.